Through passes are meta in FC26. This is one of the most dangerous attacking passes in the game. We all know how a through pass is performed: triangle, right? So first of all, when you want to play a through pass, you need a player making a run. You can trigger that run manually. One way is using the pass and move technique. Press L1 plus X to make your player run forward immediately after passing the ball. Then you can send him a through pass. Or you can send an off-ball player on a run. Just aim your left analog toward that player and press L1. The player will instantly start sprinting forward. The next step is aiming and loading the right power. With through balls, you have to make sure you're aiming toward the direction of your running player or the open space, and I'll explain when to use each. But first, let's talk about aiming directly at your player, since that's the most common. You need to load enough power to make sure the ball travels cleanly toward your runner. Then comes timing, which is just as important. You need to wait until your player is about to get past the nearest defender. That's the perfect moment. If you get the power, aim, and timing right, you'll break through your opponent's defense cleanly. So, how do we apply this in-game? Let's see. We have two main ways to aim our through balls: into space or at the running player. Let's look at the scenarios for both. Before that, there's one crucial element: creating the passing angle. In most basic through ball situations, your ball carrier will already have space, so it's easy to play the pass without much trouble. The real challenge is when your ball holder is under pressure. That's when you must protect the angle. Use what I call the fake to ignore technique. Pretend you're not interested in the through pass. Dribble away from the angle to sell the idea that you're doing something else, but keep an eye on your runner. Then, quickly dribble back and face your running player before the passing lane closes. Once you've created the angle and avoided pressure, you're ready to send that through ball. Now let's go through examples of where to aim exactly, aiming towards space. Here, I pass to my striker and trigger my winger using an L1 run. I control the ball into open space. There's no pressure, I'm dribbling freely, and the passing lane is clear. The opponent is tracking my winger, but as they move together, I recognize it's a wide run. On the wing, we always aim towards space. You can see here, I aim at the open area because the two center backs aren't reacting as quickly as a manually controlled defender should. I load about 2.5 to 3 bars of power, and boom, the ball flies into the open space. The fullback gets caught wide, my winger runs in behind, and I score. Another example. Again, I trigger my winger's run forward. With wide through passes aimed inside, we target the space because there's usually less defensive traffic on the wings. I use controlled sprint to push into open ground while defenders track back. Once I time the run correctly, I aim my left analog toward the inside space, not out wide, because the fullback is already committing outside. I use about 3.5 bars of power, and that perfectly pushes my winger to cut inside with the through ball. Lastly, when I already have a player running and no open space to dribble, I use controlled sprint, wait for the perfect timing, and aim the left analog towards space. Center backs are often lazy with their recovery runs. That's why this works so well. Boom! I break the line and sprint straight toward goal. Aiming toward the running player. In this next scenario, I pass to my cam and trigger my winger to run. In midfield, the opponent usually has more players pressing, so expect pressure. I like using the fake to ignore again. I first dribble in the opposite direction, then turn back toward the passing angle. This time, I aim directly at my player, not at space, because here it's easier for him to receive and drive toward goal. Look at the power, almost 4 bars. The pass is strong, accurate, and perfectly matches the run. I get in behind and score. Another example, I send my striker on a run using an L1 pass. I'm dribbling away from the passing lane because I know pressure is coming from the nearest defender. As the opponent mirrors my movement, I turn back, face the lane, and aim directly at my player. The power is solid, and just like that, boom, the ball slices through, I control it, and finish. In another case, I pass to my winger and trigger my striker forward. I don't face the passing angle right away. Instead, I control the ball away to bait the opponent, making them forget about my runner. After faking, I perform a ball roll, face the angle, aim the analog toward the running player, and load almost 4 bars of power. Watch how the ball curves cleanly into the space behind the defense. Finally, if you struggle with timing or want to take your through passes to the next level, try using the player lock. You activate it by pressing R3 plus L3 at the same time. Once active, you can manually switch and control your running player. Use the right analog to switch away, move that player into open space, then press triangle to release the through ball. Mastering this adds a whole new dimension. It lets you create your own dangerous runs instead of waiting for AI movement. So go ahead and practice these overpowered player lock through balls. They're one of the most effective ways to break any defense in FC26.